with President Trump and President Putin about ending the war in Ukraine, then it is time for some new economic punishment. Now, more than half of Russian oil exports have been slapped with new sanctions.
That's Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House. Secretary of State Marco Rubio will spend the next 2 days in Israel. As he arrives, Vice President Vance leaves after his own 2-day visit, focused on keeping the Gaza ceasefire in place. Before departing, Vance also said,
"The West Bank is not going to be annexed by Israel."
Calling the vote yesterday by Israel's parliament to greenlight taking more land in the West Bank, where many Palestinians live, a very stupid political stunt. In New York City, the final debate in the race for mayor getting national attention.
You don't know how to run a government. You don't know how to handle an emergency.
Andrew Cuomo sparring again with the frontrunner, Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani on Spectrum News, New York 1.
We just had a former governor say in his own words that the city has been getting screwed by the state. Who was leading the state? It was you.
Republican Curtis Sliwa also debated. He's far back in the polls, rejecting calls to drop out. America's listening to Fox.
Let's go. You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Let's go. Hey, listen to this. All it needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
They voted again in the Senate.
On this vote, the yeas are 54, the nays are 46.
And once again, they failed to advance a funding bill, so the government is shut down the 23rd day.
House Speaker Mike Johnson has elected to keep the House out of session during the shutdown and says he'll bring lawmakers back when Democrats reopen the government. Congresswoman Beth Van Dyne tells Fox News it's up to the Speaker on bringing the House back, but the Texas Republican is concerned the messaging might get old.
It is frustrating for those of us who do have introduced bills that want them to be passed and want them to move forward. And I think, but good, I think the Speaker absolutely understands that.
Democrats say they want Republicans to negotiate health care provisions before they agree to supporting a measure to end the shutdown. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
This is a rare royal visit today in Rome. Britain's King Charles is at the Vatican for a state visit, and he sat with Pope Leo during a service at the Sistine Chapel. He's the first British monarch to pray with a pope in more than 500 years. Now to something else rare, an attempt to personify animals in court.
The Michigan Court of Appeals rules chimpanzees are not considered humans, and therefore the DeYoung Family Zoo in the state's Upper Peninsula will not have to defend the confinement of 7 chimps. Earlier this month, an attorney for the so-called Non-Human Rights Project argued chimps are entitled to some of the same rights as humans. The appellate court, though, ruled the same as previous decisions, rejecting a potential exemption carved out for particularly intelligent animals. Tom Graham, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down almost 100 points for the Dow the day after a big sell-off that dragged the Dow and the NASDAQ both down big. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Thursday morning. It is now October 23rd, 2025, and you're in tune with the Valley's Morning News. It's News Radio for South Texas. Show producer Fred Cruz. I'm Sergio Sanchez, and we got AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on standby. Appreciate you joining us today. Let's take a look at some of the South Texas news. We're going to need a new city manager for our city of Brownsville. Helen Ramirez, our city manager, announced her resignation at City Commission meeting this week. Ramirez saying that she needs to spend more time with family due to medical reasons. Her last day on the job will be December 19th, and Brownsville will be appointing an interim city manager soon. SpaceX and the economic impact it has on our region. County Judge Eddie Trevino providing a report on the 2026 Starbase local impact. The annual report put together by SpaceX provides estimates on the economic impact value that Starbase provides here. $13 billion impact to the economy, a 50% increase from last year. Indirect taxes paid by the facility, the estimate is over $300 million. And the activity at Starbase, well, they employ about 3,000 plus people there at Starbase. They support more than 24,000 jobs in the South Texas economy. At 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. An update to a very sad story from South Texas ISD. Authorities have identified the 16-year-old student from South Texas ISD who was killed in a crash in Donna on Tuesday. Colin Feltis, his name, died in a two-vehicle crash on Expressway 83. And Texas DPS saying they continue to investigate that crash. Folks at South Texas ISD have brought in counselors to help the students and teachers cope. At 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. Texas note, Texas State Senator Brian Birdwell, he has been tapped by the Trump administration to be an Assistant Secretary of Defense.
It was last month when State Senator Brian Birdwell delivered his farewell address to the Texas Senate, where he served for 15 years. It came after he announced he would not seek re-election.
Whatever assignments may come to me, whatever missions the Lord has, that could just be simply being a grandfather. It could be something not quite as important as being a grandfather, but maybe serving the state in some way.
He came to elected office after serving in the U.S. Army for 20 years, achieving the title of Lieutenant Colonel. He was injured in the attack on the Pentagon on 9/11. If his nomination is approved by the Senate, he will return to the Pentagon managing military logistics.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
Payroll services giant ADP is saying they are no longer providing the Federal Reserve with private weekly jobs data. And some recent lottery winners say that they used AI to pick their lottery numbers.
Two Powerball players, one in Virginia, the other in Michigan, say they used ChatGPT to pick their six-figure prize-winning numbers. Since then, more AI-powered apps have popped up, advertising to analyze previously played numbers and any patterns in drawings. It should be noted that none of them promise a lottery win. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
It's 7:09. This is the Valley's Morning News, News Talk 710 KURV. It is AccuWeather with the time. Big thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm Ranch, Purina Antler Mass for Farm and Ranch is a certified dealer. Stop by, say hi to Dougie for us if you visit. Thank you, meteorologist Jason Caterina. And we're still looking at all this heat, maybe triple digits, definitely by Sunday, Monday. So what do the computers tell you today? Update on that potential cool front for midweek next week. What's going on?
Still looks about the same. Looks like it's going to be here as we head through the middle part of next week. There is a front coming toward the region this weekend, but it's not going to quite make it to us, but it will increase the chances for a couple of showers and thunderstorms around as we head into the day Saturday.
Well, I was doing the regular round robin this morning, checking Houston and, Central Texas, San Antonio, Dallas News Radio. And the gang in Houston, they say they're probably going to get a lot of rain Friday, Saturday, something like that. So what's going on with them? What is that?
That's a bit of that system that's coming down through Central Texas. Yeah, there's a low attached to that. So the low is actually going to dive down right along the Texas, Oklahoma, the wide part of Oklahoma, not the panhandle.
Okay.
That part of the border.
The part, yeah.
The cleaver part. Like, it looks like a cleaver to me. You know what I mean? Like, so the blade of the cleaver in the Texas border there, that's where that front or that actual low is going to track along. So as it does that, that's going to raise the shower thunderstorm chances for Houston, San Antonio, central and northern Texas.
That cleaver buried in on Texas's head, right, right up there. Okay, week away, some change in weather for us. Meantime, Southeast Texas, if you're traveling, watch for that Friday, Saturday. There might be a lot of rain. and that part of the state headed into
heavy
Louisiana.
thunderstorms could bring some flooding downpours, localized damaging wind gusts to Houston Friday night, Saturday night.
Yeah, for the weekend. All right, well, that's your AccuWeather forecast. Highs for us. Let's see. You said like mid-90s today, mid-90s tomorrow. Same thing. Saturday, triple digits. Sunday, oh goody.
Sunday and Monday.
On Monday, triple digits those 2 days. Look at the national calendar for today. I got all excited because I said, "Oh, it's National Mole Day." Oh, I love mole, chicken mole.
I got some of that in the freezer.
No, it's actually Mole Day.
Oh no, that's not good. I got too many of those out of my lawn.
Yeah,
One of them ran right across my fiance's foot one day.
It's not even that, man. It's not. I don't know what those taste like, but it's not even that. It's that mathematical expression, mole.
Oh.
Go back to all those years of trig and math.
Gosh.
You got your meteorology degree.
Yeah.
Alfredo's number. I'm not.
Honestly, I've forgotten all about that.
Yeah. So anyway, I had to look that one. It's not mole, really. It's not even a mole in the yard. Yeah, it's that mathematical expression. And for dessert, National Boston Cream Pie. Yeah. That's
I'll get a Boston cream donut for it instead.
That's true. That's a good way. It's small. You probably have to eat like 5 or 6 of them to be the size of a cake, which I could do, but I won't.
I mean, twist my arm.
Yeah. Make sure you bring some to us when you get yours.
Oh, okay.
That's a long
drive. Oh, yeah. Mole in chemistry. It's a chemistry measurement. It's a unit of measurement for very large quantity of particles.
Yeah.
1 mole is 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd particles.
Come on, what?
Yeah. I'll stick with my...
I can't even count that high.
Yeah.
What?
I'll stick with my Boston cream pie for today. All right, pal. Call you next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. Time is 7:13 on the Valley's Morning News. A viral social media post says that thousands of illegal immigrants in Texas are registered to vote. One report came out this week, about 3,000, they said. From News Nation, Xavier Walton says there's more to the story.
The Texas Secretary of State, Jane Nelson, she's the one behind this viral post that is now sparking new debate, if you will, over election integrity. The post says thousands of illegal immigrants may be registered to vote in Texas. Our review identified 2,724 potential non-citizens nationwide. But it's also misleading. State officials found 2,724 potential non-citizens after comparing voter rolls to a federal immigration database called SAVE, S-A-V-E.
And of those that were found, it is up to local elections offices to take the data from the Texas Secretary of State's office and confirm if those individuals are not supposed to be registered to vote. It's 7:14 on the Valley's Morning News, and demolition work continues on the east wing of the White House. Have you seen the pictures? They got some big equipment tearing down some walls on the east wing, where they will be building a 90,000 plus square foot ballroom for President Trump.
The cost of the 90,000 square foot ballroom has ballooned by 50% to $300 million. But President Trump says private donations will cover that cost. Some historians have expressed concerns about the extent of the demolition of part of the White House that had been the purview of first ladies. Trump downplayed those concerns, calling the East Wing a small building that was never thought of as much. I'm Rory O'Neill.
The time is 7:15. This is the Valley's Morning News. Up next, conversation with the director of the FAR International Bridge. The commercial bridge at FAR, all those international trucks coming in, going back. So what does it say about the economy? What are the trends right now? That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Are you tired of waiting hours in your doctor's waiting room? Sitting around waiting to see a doctor isn't fun, and we know your time is valuable. The good news is that the physicians at Rio Grande Pain Team can help. Rio Grande Pain Team helps patients find relief from chronic neck pain, back pain, migraine headaches, and joint pain. And at Rio Grande Pain Team, we schedule your visits accordingly. Rio Grande Pain Team recently added providers, and we utilize the latest in scheduling software so our patients are seen on time for their visits and treatments. There's no need to wait 5 hours in a physician's office. At Rio Grande Pain Team, you no longer have to live with chronic pain. Dr. Dennis Slavin can help and have you feeling better at last. Book your appointment now in Weslaco or McAllen by signing on to our website, feelingbetteratLast.com. That's feelingbetteratLast.com, or call 956-973-0565. That's 973-0565. 973-0565.
Ah, the eternal struggle. Too hot? Too cold? Forget about it. Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC will make your home a true Goldilocks zone. Don't bear it alone when your fairy tale home feels like a nightmare gone wrong. Mighty Mike is your shining hero who will save the day with service that's not too early, not too late, but just right. Call Mighty Mike at 956-686-1353 or visit callmightymike.com. Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC.
Get it right. Call Mighty Mike.
Mighty Mike to the rescue.
Just one call to solve it all.
Brian Kilmeade here, inviting you to tune in weekday mornings starting at 9 for The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez on News Talk 710 KURV and KURV.com.
This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV, home to Texas A&M fighting Aggie football. They're taking on LSU this coming Saturday, 5:30 broadcast. Big thank you to our many, many supporters this season, including Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Big thank you as well to Amigo Power Equipment. Louis, as I lovingly refer to him, Luis Basan is in the studio. He's the director of the FAR International Port of Entry, a commercial port, and we got lots and lots of trucks crossing every day. How many trucks cross daily?
We're looking at an average of 5,000 trucks inbound and outbound every day.
Does that number continue to grow?
So I wanted to talk about that.
Okay, yeah, because you just finished your fiscal year, right?
We just finished our fiscal year.
Okay.
I just reported the latest numbers and findings to the Bridge Board yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
yeah, things are good. Things are looking up.
Okay.
It's not to say that there are challenges out there,
Mm-hmm.
but things are looking up. I mean, we're up. If you want to just talk numbers right away,
sure.
On just overall year, end of year.
We're looking at crossings and revenue.
We're looking at
things,
crossings,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So if you look at southbound trucks as an example, we're up by 1% only.
Okay.
But that's a considerable number in differences of number of trucks. If you look at that from 2024 to 25, 681,000 compared to about almost 700,000, 688 to be exact. So then you look at northbound
And that
trucks.
is everything crossing, right?
That is that is just southbound trucks right there.
Going southbound
That is-
trucks and cars, or just
no, I'm
trucks?
just talking about trucks.
Just commercial
So
trucks.
if you look
southbound.
at everything encompassing, that changes things. But we concentrate on trucks because what we do out there when we put our marketing dollars to work, obviously that goes towards trade. There's a reason why we continue to have the rankings that we have at this port of entry because we concentrate on trade. Northbound trucks, también 1% up from 2024 to 2025.
Okay.
And that's a considerable difference, about 705 to 711,000. And then on the revenue side, you're looking at, just to give you the number here. Well, actually, if you combine both southbound and northbound trucks, same thing, 1%. That's about 1.4 million trucks that we crossed as compared to 1.3. And then on the revenue side, we went from 20 million to 21 million plus. So that's 5% growth in revenues.
That revenue from the bridge goes to the coffers of FAR only, or is it McAllen also, or is it distributed?
No, sir. This is FAR.
This is just FAR.
So City of FAR owns the FAR International Bridge, and that goes back to the general fund. About 80% of that goes back to the general fund in FAR.
The Ansel Lewis International Bridge at Mission will likely go online. It's a year delayed. They were expecting it Q1 this year. Okay, so now they're saying Q1 next year. Okay, so if and when it does come aboard, which, by the way, you saying that southbound traffic is up 1%, I find that interesting and pleasantly surprising because at Ansel Lewis they've been trying to host southbound traffic for the longest time, and so it's not hurting you. Doesn't seem to be hurting you that much as far as the Ansel Lewis southbound.
No, well,
right now.
back then, and consider this, they're still doing southbound empty trucks. So anything that's empty, that not very considerable amount, is going through Ansel Lewis when and if they need to. But right now, I like to concentrate on daily averages. Right now, they're averaging about 100, 120 trucks a day, and that's just empty trucks.
Yeah,
we're crossing about anywhere from 40 to 50% empty trucks through FAR. And that number, as I mentioned, you're looking at about 2,500 trucks going back southbound. but about 40 to 50% of that is empty.
If and when Uncle Lewis does come aboard, have you made projections? You guys run some numbers on how it might impact revenue, number of trucks, all that
So
at the Far Bridge?
every year we consider that. Right now we're working on a 5-year forecast, as a matter of fact. And what we're seeing, just very conservatively, about 2.5% growth for us year after year for the next 5 years. That's very conservative, though. Now,
For the next 5 years.
For the next
Meaning
5
that
years.
at the beginning, when the bridge opens, we might see a little drop, but overall, when everything averages out over 5 years, might be 2.5% growth.
well, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, Sergio. There's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and that's on the business development side. We're doing a lot of promotional travel. We're meeting with source companies, with corporate entities, with decision makers. That's the difference between maybe their team and our team. And I don't want to do comparisons, right? But what we're doing is we also have a collaboration partnership called the Far Border Business Advancement Initiative. And that's between the Far International Bridge, the Far Economic Development Corporation, and the Greater Far Chamber of Commerce. So what this does is it offers basically a hub. It offers a one-stop shop for corporations, for companies, for investors to really own in on what they really want to do. You know, as the number one port of entry, let's just say for produce as an example, right?
Okay.
We continue to see those markers, increase. Right now, we're still crossing about 30%. So guess what? That market continues to generate. So we need to go target different regions in Mexico, as an example, and even further, South America, diversification of products. And I don't think anybody else is doing that.
Okay, so it's sell. Let's like hit the ground, go door knocking. Let's develop some relationships.
It's come to the point where
bring more people.
It's
Get
more
trucks.
knocking on doors, cold calling, and meeting with the decision makers. Last week alone, I can tell you right now, 3 teams were activated. A team here locally, a team in Aguascalientes, and a team in Mexico City. Everybody doing their own business development in their own way, but at the end of the day, meeting with the primary source or the corporation.
Luis Pasan is director of our Far Port of Entry, the Far International Bridge, or commercial bridge. We got a bunch of trucks coming in, 5,000 daily, Louis says we get at the Far International Bridge. Who sends us the truck? Is it one particular region? Is it mostly Monterrey, Saltillo? Like, who's crossing? Most of it, you said, seems to be, the majority seems to be ag related. So where are they coming from? Is it all over the place, or just
there's different regions? So when you look at like our top 5 commodities, our top 5 imports, you have to consider the automotive. Where's the automotive concentrating in? In the Guanajuato, Querétaro region, and call it El Bajío, right?
Yeah.
But there's also somewhere in the middle, there's Mexico City. We're also seeing some of that starting to develop there.
Well,
you look at the Pacific coast of Mexico with the Supervia Mazatlan Matamoros that opened up back in 2013. That's why the city of Far was able to sell the Far Produce District, that 100-acre tract. And right now it's pretty much at capacity with all those cold warehouses there, because that's that market that started generating through there. That market used to go through Arizona. Now it comes through us. Again, number one produce bridge in the nation, right? So there's different regions. And right now we're in exploratory mode, like I said. And we're gonna even start looking, because some of the companies that are already doing business with us, let's say carriers or transportation companies, more on the logistics side, they're already starting to look at other countries. As I mentioned, South America, Chile is an example, right? There are products that we have not targeted yet that could be coming from there. But right now it's about diversification, as I mentioned. So there's different regions all over Mexico. Monterrey, I have people in Monterrey today. As a matter of fact, meeting with Clout, that's the automotive cluster in Monterrey, and they're putting us in touch with about 30 different companies, source companies.
One of the powerhouse entities of South Texas, as I refer to it, or economic engine, the Port of Brownsville. I recall some years back, as we started developing this announcement and promotions, just messaging relationship with the port, they were explaining a very tight relationship that they have with you, and the way things are growing at the port right now. That might be also a potential increasing revenue stream in your future. Explain how tight your relationship is with the Port of Brownsville.
The way I like to explain that, Sergio, is that there's intermodal, right? Intermodal trade, where you have a hub that not just ships by truck, but also by train, by freight containers, by ocean freight. Well, we don't have that in Far. We just have a bridge that crosses trucks. We sign an MOU, we become partners with the Port of Brownsville. Suddenly, we become intermodal because what's coming in by ship, by ocean freight, gets put on a truck and then makes its way to the city of FAR, to the FAR International Bridge, crosses into Mexico, and that's how we generate that business. That was huge back during 2012, 2013, when we're talking about fracking and the Cuenca de Burgos and all that area.
Yes.
So that became very popular. And right now, obviously, Port of Brownsville is under new leadership. It's something we're circling back with because it's been about 10 years. So right now, kind of like USMCA, renegotiations, let's talk new trade, let's talk new numbers. What is in it for them? What is in it for us? And what can we continue to do together to generate more volume, more trade, obviously more revenues?
Yeah, 10-4. And you think that with the massive expansion of steel and the materials for steel products, and of course, it's sometimes we've described it as the Monterrey Saltillo seaport. Brownsville,
Monterrey Saltillo,
right? Because
it makes sense,
because all the steel product that goes into Mexico, well, return it back to us as products. Let's put it on ships, things like that. So there's potential there for that. Luis Bazan is the director for FAR Port of Entry. Recently, you had Truck Expo, right? A big Truck Expo.
Sure.
That big. So what was all that about?
Well, this is our second annual Truck Expo. This is a marketing tool, but it's also a business retention. What are we trying to achieve here? Again, who crosses the FAR International Bridge? Truck companies. But there's a lot of companies in FAR. You have Mack Trucks, Freightliners. You have all these brands that these are big manufacturers at the end of the day. Those are companies we're trying to target. But more importantly is how do we keep our customers happy? How do we bring in more customers or more companies not from this area? We were very fortunate to bring about 10, 12 companies from the Houston area that had never even been here, but they're looking for opportunities because a lot of what happens in the trade world or in the trade shows and these truck expos, they do business amongst themselves. Our own customers were saying, I never thought that we would have these vendors, these suppliers here. So obviously there's a lot of business to be done there. We're always looking for a buyer and a seller, and these put a lot of them together. We had about 55 companies that participated. And one of the good things is, speaking about this collaboration that I mentioned, we were able to generate about 35 new chamber members for the Greater FAR Chamber of Commerce at a tune of about $13,000. So that's something that we do in partnership, and that worked hand in hand through this Truck Expo.
You mentioned earlier that we're pretty much at capacity when it comes to warehousing, storage, but there are plans to expand, though. There's more. Isn't Mr. Spammer, Joaquin Spammer, isn't he building something around there somewhere, or is that somewhere else?
So Mr. Spammer is building everywhere in the Rio Grande Valley. He's building something here in McAllen right now. He's got stuff in FAR, mostly in Weslaco on the cotton side, right?
That's right.
But
Edinburgh too.
Last year, and I'm not going to get granular about the information. It's not my spot, right? And I will recommend maybe in the future we also invite Victor Perez, maybe some other folks, and kind of align ourselves so that they can talk more about granular information. But last year, and the story's out, right, about 11 million square feet of new development in FAR.
They're near the port,
very
to
close
warehouse,
to
to store.
So that's the industrial investment zone that I like to call, right? Close to the produce district, close to that whole area, right on Military Highway, crisscrossing, Cage Boulevard that directs you to the bridge.
11 million square feet on the way.
On the way since October, November of 2024.
Okay.
Just right now, I think they have about 5 or 7 new industrial parks that are underway in some form and one way or of the development phases. So there's a lot still happening. Like anything, a lot of folks, if you talk to some of these industrial developers, they'll tell you, well, the investors kind of holding on to their cash right now. They don't, the uncertainty factor with tariffs and, market volatility and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, there's still room for growth. There's still room for economic development and growth. But we have to tie it together because the EDC depends on us and we depend on the EDC. If you don't have the services, you don't have the warehousing, you don't have the distribution centers, you can't cross trucks.
Louis, thank you for stopping by.
Yes, sir.
Come and visit us again. I know you got a lot more information we could have shared this morning, but we'll save it later for another conversation. Luis Bazan is the director of our FAR Port of Entry, our commercial bridge, our international bridge at FAR. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV, your station for Aggie football. Check of sports up next. AccuWeather says hot. Should be mid-90s today. Same thing tomorrow. Same thing Saturday and Sunday. Híjole, triple digits. And Monday, triple digits. One final gasp of a hot summer before a little bit of relief midweek next week. So stay tuned to the morning news. Join us for conversations with AccuWeather on the morning news. And we'll see how much we can cool off, maybe 15, 20 degrees by Thursday, Friday of next week. The border bridge wait times, that is posted on KURV.com. Let's see if I can find that page again. Well, there it is. Let's see, border bridge wait times. Update from the Brownsville traffic. It's a 45-minute wait at Gateway. Same thing at Veterans. You know, B&M Bridge is reporting less than 5 minutes. You might want to do the UE, head over to the B&M Bridge. And for the McAllen-Edinburgh Mission area, 45 minutes at the Far Bridge and 35 at the other two. 45 minutes at the Hidalgo Bridge, I'm sorry. And it's 35, and on San Luis also 35. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Business news check of your money up next. I think the smart money would be to make a phone call if you are a business owner, property owner, you're about to build something, about to erect a structure. You need a commercial roof that will last years and years, and you have a team that's been around for 125 plus years, is on standby, text message away for whatever reason, whatever happens, with valued warranties, these guarantees. They'll be right there for whatever happens in the future. But normally nothing happens. I mean, it's not like we're in Central Texas, North Texas, getting hailstorms or anything like that, anything crazy. Hurricanes, it's been kind of quiet. But whatever it is, Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing can provide that repair. Waterproofing, caulking solutions, water blasting, water repellent, membrane, waterproofing. Waterproofing is in their name, and that's what you need for your building. Make sure you don't get water on your inventory, on your computers, all those engineering drafts. Call Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing for a free assessment of what you have right now. Those buildings that you have. See how they're standing right now. Those roof systems of yours. If they're getting weak, find out. And for the new building, yeah, you definitely need the expertise of Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing, cutting-edge roof installation, advanced waterproofing solutions at 956-655-6178.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. President Trump said he expects to reach a trade agreement with Chinese President Xi Jinping when they meet in South Korea next week. That could range from resumed soybean purchases by Beijing and limits on nuclear weapons. Tesla has reported a 12% increase in third quarter revenue following 2 straight periods of declines. However, earnings missed analyst estimates, pushing the stock down almost 5%. Automotive revenue increased 6% to $21.2 billion. That's up from $20 billion in the year-ago period. Reuters reports the Trump administration is considering limiting exports of products using American software to China, such as laptops and jet engines. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirmed that those options are on the table. Bessent is set to meet Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng in Malaysia later this week for trade talks. Futures are slightly lower. Wednesday, the Dow Industrials lost 334. That's your money now.
Elon Musk saying that his Tesla robo-taxis will be unsupervised by the end of the year. He's running them right now in the city of Austin. And Google's Frightgeist is keeping tabs on the most popular Halloween costumes in the nation.
It uses search data from Google Trends to determine which costumes are coming up most often in a given city. Nationally, the top 5 most popular costumes for 2025 are all from K-pop demon hunters. Labubu, the highly sought-after collectible dolls, also rank high for popular costumes for kids, dogs, and overall decor. I'm Mark Mayfield.
AccuWeather says highs today should be mid-90s. Same thing tomorrow. And just ratchet up those temperatures for the weekend and into Monday. Should be triple digits by then. Right now, temperatures mid-70s across South Texas. We got Fox News coming up in 2 minutes. Join us at Radio Para Mi. Download the free app. This is News Talk 710 KURV, the Valley's Morning News. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Also, check us at Radio Para Mi, the free app. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz and Jason Caterina from AccuWeather. Mid-70s right now. Highs today should be in the mid-upper 90s. News on 710 KURV is a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. The economic impact of SpaceX on the South Texas economy is massive. County Judge Eddie Trevino this week released the 2026 Starbase Local Impact Report, the annual report put together by SpaceX, and provides estimates on the economic impact, the value of Starbase. It's more than $13 billion to the local economy, a 50% increase from last year. Indirect taxes above $300 million. And as far as employment, Starbase supports more than 24,000 local jobs. The Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. You probably have seen this video either on the cable news networks. It's definitely all over social media. It's a semi-truck, an 18-wheeler truck crash in Ontario, California. A semi-truck driver accused of causing a deadly crash that authorities say the driver was under the influence of drugs. It was on Highway 10 in Ontario. They now say that the 21-year-old driver was in the country illegally.
The Department of Homeland Security says 21-year-old Jasanpreet Singh is an Indian national who entered the country through the U.S.-Mexico border in 2022. Singh was living in Yuba City. The 8-vehicle pileup happened on Tuesday afternoon. 3 people were killed and 4 others were hospitalized. Singh is accused of driving under the influence of drugs, causing bodily injury, and gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated. He remains behind bars without bail and is due in court in Rancho Cucamonga today. I'm Daniel Martindale.
U.S. national debt is now above $38 trillion. And EA Sports and the NFL have agreed to extend their executive partnership to develop Madden video game franchise product.
EA Sports. It's in the game. The multi-year agreement keeps Madden as the only official NFL simulation game through at least the 2030 season. EA has held this exclusive status for 20 years after outcompeting the NFL 2K series. The developer releases a new Madden edition annually, featuring updated rosters and gameplay improvements. I'm Matt Mattinson.
This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. The free app for Radio United. The free app is called Radio Para Mí. And somewhere in there, you'll find it, 710 KURV. Go look for us, and that way you can listen on your smartphone.
Summer is heating up, and so is our local economy. From sizzling business deals to community connections, News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio Para Mí app are here to keep you in the know. Download the Radio Para Mí app to stay informed and entertained. Whether it's local market updates, summer events, or the weather, we've got you covered. Support local, stay connected, and tune in to the pulse of Rio Grande Valley business. News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio